Hello my friends, this is Bill Anderson here in Phoenix, Arizona, and I've learned my first lesson in trying to do videos. The location I had set for myself to do today became unavailable. It was a little controversial in nature. The location was where a couple of murders had happened, and naturally I show up today and the owner of the house actually is sitting out in his front yard. So it's hard for me to kind of sit there and go about my way talking about people dead inside his house from years ago, gangster stuff. And so I came up to another location, my alternate location that I was going to do tomorrow. I'm going to do it today, do the other one tomorrow that I was going to do today, if that makes sense. And I want to thank everyone that have subscribed to my channel. I'm so brand new at this, obviously. I have no editing skills, very primitive equipment I'm using, but I'm going to learn and I'm going to get better. And I can't thank all of you enough that have subscribed. You know who you are. You've motivated me. You know, for years and years I've been going to locations that are pretty cool, some very wacky, some movie locations, cemeteries, places where celebrities have died, historical monuments, that sort of thing, statues of famous people. I'm going to continue that, but this time I'm going to not only take photos, but I'm going to start doing more videos. I'm going to try to do as many videos as I humanly possibly can. But I want to thank you again. Ashley P., you better subscribe to my channel, and I just want to do this shout out and say thank you to everyone again from the bottom of my heart. It really does mean a lot to me, seriously. So today I'm at a very special location for me. It's a place where as a 16-year-old I kind of started my wrestling training and career here. The building has since been torn down, but there's some mementos of the building, some history here. So what we're going to do is we are at the former location of the Phoenix Madison Square Garden Arena that sat here for many years. It was created in or built in 1928. Jim Lundos, one of the great wrestlers in the past, had owned this building at one time. And I wanted to do this shout out to all the wrestlers that wrestled at the old Phoenix Madison Square Garden. It's gone now. Where this camera is pointed, this building right here used to sit, facing out on 7th Avenue right here, downtown Phoenix. You can see the massive skyscrapers of Phoenix. And this is what the Madison Square Garden Arena used to look like. You can see how amateur my editing is. I have no editing. I just throw out a picture. It's raw, unplugged. This is Big Bill Anderson's Death Tours channel. So you get what you get. And this is what the garden used to look like. This front with that white awning over the outside of the arena used to sit right out here. And I'll go to about where the front of the building was for many years. This is where the Madison Square Garden was, right here. Somewhere right around in here would have technically been the front of the building. And all the greats wrestled here. And I tell you a little interesting story. Superstar Billy Graham told me that he used to box in Golden Gloves in this arena back, I would imagine it was in the late 50s, 60s, early 60s, late 50s. He was a Golden Gloves boxer inside the arena that sat right here. So I came here to pay my respect to all the great wrestlers that wrestled here. It was also a boxing arena. It was used for concerts, revivals. Religion played a big part of the building that sat here. Some of the greats had performed here. Rumor is Elvis Presley had performed through here at one time or another. And they used to have seat about 2,500 people. It was a boxing arena. And as you can see here, These are some little monuments to the building to let everyone know that this was a famous location and it was a part of Phoenix history. And this says, Phoenix Madison Square Garden offered many opportunities for young men in Phoenix to pursue boxing and the dream of winning a title, Golden Gloves, a National Amateur Boxing Championship. This is where people came to get off the streets, to perform their craft of boxing or wrestling. I was 17, actually 16 years old when I came here to be a wrestler and train here for wrestling. And right here it says wrestling was the longest running attraction at Phoenix Madison Square Garden. From the day it opened to the day it closed, audiences were delighted by national celebrities such as Lou Thez, Gorgeous George, Nature Boy Buddy Rogers, Lord Carlton, and local talent such as Tito Montez, Cowboy Bob Yuma, and Jody Arnold. Televised matches were a local sensation, and the ritual drama of the match became popular family entertainment. And I can tell you, I came here as a fan in 1971, and I wrestled here in 74 and 75 as a professional in my rookie year. And I had a lot of great memories of being here with Tito Montez and Kurt Von Steiger, my trainer, and Chris Colt, Ron Dupree, Johnny Mann, Chuck Carbo, Nano Ortega. So many greats wrestled in this building of my teenage years. And out here is some more statues dedicated to the boxers that performed here. And this is called the Madison Square Garden Museum Plaza. It's hard to kind of see that. But over here they had a makeshift museum. I don't think it gets much use. It's only open one day a week. But it was a tribute to the wrestlers that performed here. People like myself, people like Tito Montez, and people like so many others. This is the Madison Square Garden Museum. Very, very, very small. They're working on it, redoing some photos in there. They actually have a screen where they project some videos of some matches. And this is dedicated to the wrestlers and boxers that performed here through the years. Very small, but it's a consolation, I guess, that at least they acknowledge that there was wrestling here. It was a very simple building. It had a swamp cooler, no air conditioning, no heat. So in the summer when I trained, and I started in 1973 training here, it was probably maybe 120 degrees, stuffy hot inside as I'm rolling around on a ring with no spring in it, no give at all. It's a boxing ring basically. And again, this is an amateur shoot here, obviously, with my background. I don't have a fancy camera, fancy editing skills, but right here, this is the dedication to the Phoenix Madison Square Garden. So actually it was from 1929 to 2005, and they tore it down in 2005 to put up this Social Security office that, as you can see, is getting so much use. You can't see it as well as I can. It's a lot of empty floors here. Offices that haven't even been used in 12 years that this building has been torn down. And this was my home. This was my childhood home. My mother used to drop me off here 2 or 3 times a week, and I trained for 2 or 3 hours a day with all the local wrestlers at the time. David Rose, another guy named Buddy Rose, not Playboy Buddy Rose, but another man that used the name Playboy Buddy Rose before Paul Pershman Buddy Rose broke into wrestling. And I trained right here on these grounds as a 17-year-old. My mom would sit right up there where there's a McDonald's. Used to be a coffee shop up there, and my mom would sit there for hours, read the newspaper, drink coffee, while her son, her little skinny 175-pound son, was down here working out and training to to get good enough to eventually work for the WWF and NWA and AWA and so many other promotions. But I honed my craft right here at the Madison Square Garden Arena here in Phoenix. I didn't make it to the Madison Square Garden in New York, but I sure as heck made it to this Madison Square Garden, and this was home. This was where it was at for me as a kid. So anyway, I just wanted to come by here, show you the monument that they have erected here for the garden here in Phoenix, Arizona. And today is the 24th of January. And again, this isn't the video that I wanted to shoot, but sometimes you don't get everything you want. But I did want to pay my respects. I haven't been actually back here on the grounds right here. Pass by here all the time, but I hadn't actually stopped in probably about 10 years or so. And I had been here with Tito Montez and David Rose and the Lumberjack and many others who used to wrestle right here, and some of my very good friends. And we posed for pictures right here back in the day, and just wanted to come by and say thank you to the garden, thank you to all my friends, and to you, my friends on my new channel here. I want to thank you for watching my video. It's going to get better. I have some fantastic locations to come to here in Phoenix in the future. So be patient with me, be patient, and it'll get better and better. Thank you. Big Bill Anderson saying adios, amigos.